Hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 60 of the Play to Win podcast. My name is Tyler. I am your host this week, and I am thankfully, lovingly joined by my amazing, fantastic, awesome, superb co-host, Keiran. He is back. He has returned. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I just took last weekend to kind of chill, not worry about anything, just played some video games. And I'm good now.
Nice. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Sorry, my girlfriend just texted me. She asked me when I was heading over. So I'm telling her when I'm planning to leave. So there we go. I'm very happy to hear that you're doing well, though. You had some fun playing games and everything. Your mind's refreshed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, that was a question, not necessarily.
Oh,
it was
okay.
It was a question and a statement, but more of a question than anything.
Yes. No, I like I said, just chilled, didn't worry about anything, and now I am mentally prepared for episode 60.
For episode 60, good that you're mentally prepared because it is a packed episode with a whole lot of cool, awesome things to talk about, which we will get into because this is the Play to Win podcast, a show where we break down the week's biggest gaming news through in-depth discussion. There was a lot of big news this week, which we will get to in a bit. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way you know as soon as videos go live and you can be one of the first people to watch them. Also, if you haven't noticed on YouTube, we definitely passed 100 subscribers. So clap it up for us. Clap, 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 clap. I can't clap because my hands are occupied right now.
I'll give us a golf clap.
Thank you for the golf clap, Keiran. We passed 100 subscribers. And our 100 subscriber, we passed them. We passed 100 with episode 58. No, yep, with 58. 58, our predictions episode, we passed 100 subscribers. And our 100 subscriber asked me, it was like, hey, can I get a shout out on the next one? And I said, sure thing, definitely. And then I recorded episode 59 and completely forgot to do it. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I needed to do it like as the episode was exporting and all. So I gave them a little shout out in the description, but I told them I'm going to give them the verbal shout out as well. So shout out to our 100th YouTube subscriber, Aviraj Sin. Thank you so much for being our 100 subscriber. You are the man or the person. Let me just say you are the person. You are the human being. And thank you for your support. Not just to Aviraj Sin, though. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to us on YouTube and supported us. We greatly appreciate it. We are at 104 subscribers as of right now, and that predictions episode is our most viewed here on YouTube, sitting at 99 as of recording, which is fantastic. That's awesome. We love to see that. So thank you all so very much to everyone who has been watching or listening to the show, especially also if you're listening on podcast services, make sure you subscribe over there. Share, comment, like, all that stuff. It is all greatly appreciated. It helps us out, helps us get more visibility in the algorithms. You know, those algorithms, those darn algorithms, the things we got to beat. We got to try to, get ahead of them. So any and all support is greatly appreciated. Keiran, you got anything to say before we get into this?
Just thank you very much for, checking out the show. We think it's pretty good. We glad you guys are liking the predictions episode.
It was a fun one. It was a fun one. And we hope that you continue to like each and every episode that we put out, because again, there's a whole lot of cool stuff that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks, starting with this week's State of Play recap. So yeah, it should be a whole lot of fun stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. This next month ahead of us. It's going to be a big month for gaming news. So with all that said, without further ado, let's start talking about this episode. This week on episode 60, we're going to be recapping this week's State of Play, which had a whole bunch of big announcements. It was a big State of Play. We're also going to be going over the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer that we got this week too. And we will briefly be talking about the Sonic Frontiers gameplay that IGN has exclusively revealed as part of their IGN first monthly coverage. So got some big things to talk about this week, and we're going to kick it all off with the State of Play that happened this past week on Thursday. Third-party focused State of Play with some PSVR 2 stuff in there, mainly third-party focused. It was one hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Keiran, what did you think of the show?
I am in agreement with a lot of the internet saying that this was their best state of play ever. Like, this is 100% my favorite one that I've seen, and I really can't say this about many like showcases, state of plays, whatever you want to call them. That like I am very interested in pretty much everything they showed.
Yeah, this show had like they set all the expectations. They said, hey, this is third party, guys. Third parties. There'll be some PSVR 2 stuff in there, but third party announcements and reveals, not first party focused. And everyone had like super low expectations. And then like the day of, I noticed on Twitter, I noticed a lot of PlayStation people like promoting this, like, hey, watch this, watch this, watch this. And that made me think throughout the day, like, this is gonna be a big thing. It's gonna this like everyone was saying, oh, it's not gonna be that big a deal, but I think it's gonna be a big thing. And it certainly turned out to be. And like you said, I think it was definitely their best day to play yet. Paced really well, great announcements in it. Like everything in here was cool. I see no way in which like you think that nothing in this was cool. So we're just gonna get right into this. They kicked this thing off with a date. Kicked the state of play off with a date, which I think was a power move here. Only Capcom could do this. Trailer starts March 24th, 2023. That's all they said. And then you hear some music in the background. You see letters, and it forms Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 remake officially announced, officially revealed. Got ourselves a brief trailer of sorts for it, not actual gameplay. It was more like cinematic footage, but like clearly like it is in game that's happening and all. It looks like it's using the footage was all on PS5. It looks like it's using the Resident Evil 2 remake model and like actor and all and voice for Leon. And yeah, it looks cool. It looks like Resident Evil 4, just a bit creepier to say the least.
Yeah, I've never played Resident Evil 4. I've never seen Resident Evil 4 before, but
you've never seen Resident Evil 4 before?
Nope.
You've never seen anything from it?
Nope.
How?
I don't pay attention.
Like you've never seen
Evil stuff.
Like you've never seen anything from the first level, like from the first opening village level of that game?
I mean, like maybe if I was to see it, I might recognize it, but I really don't think that I have.
Like you've never seen any footage or any image of like Leon in the village holding a gun and like someone with a chainsaw coming at him with a bag on their head?
Nope.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, that's a shock. They definitely showed some like snippets of that in the trailer, like that village where like the sun is out and the village is there, and you kind of see Leon walking towards it at the end of the trailer. Like that is the very beginning of the game.
Okay.
And him like sitting in the car, like with his head against the window, like that is the opening cutscene of the game and all. It looks cool. Yeah. I've never played Resident Evil 4, but it's one that that's a bit of a lie. I played like I think a demo of the opening level way back in the day, but I was super young and I was just like, oh no, what's happening? What do I do? But I never actually played any more than that. But I know its legacy, I know its history and all like that, and I know people have been concerned with this remake. They're like, does it even need a remake? Resident Evil 4, it's still great as it is. What do you do with the remake of it and all? So Capcom, they did say that they're trying to keep the essence of the original game in regards to like the gameplay and the story, while also updating and reimagining things for the modern day. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting seeing this game when it finally comes out, seeing how this remake project turns out. But I want to get it. Like I've been saying about the past few Resident Evil games. 2 remake, I wanted to get. 3, wanted to get. 4, I want to get. 7, I've played like a bit of, haven't finished it. But 8, I want to get, and I have not gotten any of them, but I would like to, because I'm getting more interested in the Resident Evil franchise. Maybe 4 will be the ones like push me over the edge.
Maybe. I have said many times on the show that I don't like horror stuff. I'm a big baby. I can't stand it. But like I've really enjoyed the Resident Evil games that I've played recently. So I am definitely going to be picking this up.
Yeah. And I mean, I have not played 8, but from what I've heard after this trailer dropped, people were saying, wait, hold on, was there a reference to 8 in the trailer? So which has people wondering, oh, are they gonna like draw connections of some sort? Which if they do, that'd be interesting, considering that 4 comes before 8 in the story. So like I wonder how it's gonna shake out. And that has me wanting to play 8 even more now, because I'm like, ooh, if there are gonna be connections, maybe I should play 8 and then before I get into 4, that way I can like see any connections that are there.
I didn't spot it when I was that's all. I did spot it when I was watching the trailer, but I went back and like looked at some stuff afterwards, and there was definitely a hint to 8 in there.
Nice. Yeah, I'm super into it. I thought this was an amazing way to kick off the showcase.
100%.
Not gonna say showcase, the state of play. Although I will say this definitely would have hit way harder had this not been leaked.
Yeah.
Had this not been leaked, this would have been like a what? They're doing it. Oh my God. But yeah, that's cool. And they also confirmed PSVR 2 content is being made for RE4 Remake, which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Very cool. Going in with that, we also have the Resident Evil Village PSVR 2 stuff that got announced. And like they kind of showed gameplay footage for that, which I'm just like, oh man, that looks awesome. And it looks really good, like visually, like it looks like the PS5 version of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That has me more excited for PSVR 2.
Yeah, no, a lot of the stuff in here actually has me more excited for PSVR 2. I was also going to tack on, I think that this is the first correct prediction we had for.
This was the first one, I guess you could say. Yeah, this was the first prediction that we had correct of all our predictions for the summer showcases, unless you want to count. Well, yeah, correct. Yeah, this is the first one, because I was going to say unless you want to count part of my Callisto Protocol one, where I said that we won't know, we still won't understand how it's connected to PUBG. But then, I mean, they came out and said the game's not connected to PUBG anymore, and that was before the state of play. So, like, I think this is the first correct one. Yeah. This is the first full-on correct one. So, very excited by that. We're gonna stick with VR for a little bit because we're just gonna go in order of the state of play here. Yep. After Resident Evil stuff with the VR and everything, we also got the announcement of Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution with some PSVR 2 gameplay footage. It's coming in 2022, but I imagine the PSVR 2 version will come whenever the PSVR 2 comes. We didn't get a date on it. That game looks cool. It looks fun. No Man's Sky is getting PSVR 2 version as well. We saw some gameplay footage of that. And then we got a nice, I don't want to say lengthy, but a nice good look at gameplay of Horizon Call of the Mountain. It looks awesome. I think gameplay wise, it looks really fun. We kind of got a bit of better understanding of the story. You play as this guy. I have Reyes here, but that's not the guy's name. I wrote Reyes because that's what I heard, but the character's name is actually not Reyes. Looking at the PS blog, Reyes is the character's name that you play as. Who he was a prisoner of the Karja, and now you have to climb a mountain to find out why machines are attacking in order to be freed from your sentence and all like that. The trailer looked cool. You're out here climbing, using the bow and arrow against machines and everything. What did you think of this footage?
I think it looks really, really good. I'm really interested to see how combat is going to feel in a Horizon game played in VR. So I'm like, it looks like it's going to be fun. I'm just wondering if, like, how challenging it's going to be compared to Horizon itself, because like combat in Horizon is challenging in the regular game. Right,
because it's faster paced and everything. And this is obviously going to be slower paced.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how hard is it going to be to like hit the weak spots of machines, or how hard is it going to be to actually win in combat? It looks really good and I'm really excited for it, but I'm skeptical isn't the right word, but interested.
It's one of those things where, just like with any VR game, the only way to actually know for yourself is to play it.
Yep.
Like, seeing it isn't going to do a lot for you. Reading isn't going to do much for you. Like, only way you can actually understand how it feels is to play it yourself. And I mean, just by going off the footage, it looks like it'll be slower paced, which makes sense. It's VR. It's not like, third person or anything. It makes sense. It's going to be slower paced. I imagine maybe it'll be more difficult because you're the one actually doing the bow and arrow things, like, physically yourself. I imagine that'll be a bit more difficult. but I mean, it looks really cool. I was very impressed by what we saw. I can only imagine how terrifying it'll be to be in VR and then I have like the thunder jar right in front of you. You're like, I'm dying. I'm sprayed. Like I'm in danger.
Yep.
It's gonna be tough, but it looks cool. It looks really awesome. You got me excited 100%. For PSVR 2. Do you have any other thoughts about Call of Mountain?
I mean, it looked really. The only other thought I have is like it looked really, really good. Like the thing that I was noticing with like the PSVR 2 stuff that they were showing is like it doesn't necessarily look like a VR game. Like
right.
Like VR games typically have like slightly lower graphics, like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like lower fidelity, lower resolution.
Yeah,
like
that.
But the textures, they're clearly not like console level textures or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't getting that vibe from PSVR 2.
Yeah, like from what we saw, of course, like this isn't. I imagine it might look a bit different when you are actually in it yourself, but like you just bring up a good point, which is again what I thought of when I saw the Village stuff. I was like, whoa, this looks straight up like the PS, like the console version. And then we saw No Man's Sky. I was like, this looks like the console version. And then we saw Horizon. I'm just like, this just looks beautiful. It's that you saying that it doesn't look like it's a VR game visually reminds me of Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx does not look like a quote unquote VR game. Like it looks like a big budget, like a game you would see on a console. It doesn't look like it's your visually your typical VR game. And that's the vibe I'm getting from the PSVR 2 stuff from what we've seen so far. And I think that bodes very well for what we can expect from PSVR 2 on a technical level.
100%. I was also going to tack on very quickly that I'm actually quite excited for No Man's Sky in VR.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be cool. I'm sure that'll be fun. Like a nice spacefaring adventure in VR. Like, oh man, it's gonna be awesome. We got a few other little Horizon updates here in the form of Forbidden West here. It got a big update that dropped the same day as the state of play. This update added New Game Plus, which brings you new weapons and trophies. Performance mode now has like better visuals. The fidelity of the visuals in performance mode is better now, so that's cool. I don't know exactly how much better. I haven't read like any details about it, but better visuals in performance mode. Transmog is now in the game, which is nice. You can also reset your skills, and they also added an ultra hard difficulty to Forbidden West. So nice little update for it. I think I deleted Forbidden West off my system because I was putting 7 Remake on it. So I needed to make space and delete stuff. But I do want to get back to Forbidden West at some point in time, do like in-game, like do some more side quests and things like that and all.
Yeah.
Maybe when they add like a DLC, when a DLC gets announced, maybe that'll be like, jump it back in, guys. Few other quick. Actually, also, you haven't finished Forbidden West yet, have you?
Nope.
Gotta get around to it.
I have so many games I need to finish. I will get to it eventually.
You need to finish that 7 Remake, Far Cry 6. You remember Far Cry 6?
Yeah. At some point.
Yeah. I really wonder what you think about the ending of that game. It's like, remember, I was just like, okay, I guess. I really wonder what you'll think of it. We got a quick hit here, a surprising hit. They say next up they said, all right, a fan favorite is coming to PC. And I'm like, okay, Returnal. We already had the Returnal leak. It's Returnal. That's what it's gonna be. Spider-Man Remastered. Actually, instead announced to be coming to PC. It's like, oh, okay. That's surprising. Well, surprising because I wasn't expecting that to be what they announced, but it just makes so much sense. It was going to happen at some point in time. Coming to PC August 12th, very soon. Miles Morales is also coming to PC. The date on that was not, that wasn't even announced in the state of play. That was announced in the blog post afterwards, but I don't think we got a date on Miles Morales coming to PC. That's just coming some point after. And it just makes so much sense. Like, of course, again, it was going to come to PC at some point in time, but that just adds so much more context to what I talked about last week when Sony said that they were expecting $300 million in PC game sales for this coming fiscal year, up from, I think, the 80 million that they had for the past fiscal year. It was just like, man, they're really, they're going to be bringing a whole lot more stuff, obviously. I wonder what they're going to bring. Spider-Man. Spider-Man will make you all the money, especially when both games have sold more than 33 million copies on PlayStation as of May 15th, 2022. It just like you put them on PC, they're going to sell gangbusters. They're just going
100%. Yeah, I mean, they're really good games. I think they fit very well into PC. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And it's a perfect tee up. Like, and these are on PC now. And guess what's coming next year on PS5? Spider-Man 2. Come to PS5 to play that. So that's super cool. Nice surprise announcement right there. And then we got a new look at Stray, the indie game from Annapurna featuring a cat, starring the cat you play as in like this world with robot people and all. Just a gameplay trailer for it. Didn't really do much in terms of story or anything, but you know, just showing off some stealth, some platforming and everything. Looks cool. Also gave us the release date of July 19th for PS4 and PS5. I am very excited about that. What's even more exciting is that it is coming to PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium / Deluxe on day one at no extra cost, which is very awesome, very exciting. If you are planning to upgrade your PS Plus subscription to one of those tiers, you will be getting this on day one. That's very cool.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna double check. I forgot when PS Plus Premium launches
in the US.
UK.
In the US, it is the 23rd, I believe, of June, or the 13th. I think it's the 23rd. But the UK, I think it might be the same time.
23rd of June.
For UK and US, right?
I think US was before that, wasn't it?
I thought it was the 23rd, but
give me 2 seconds.
Please and thank you. Please. While he looks it up, I just want to say again, Stray looks really fun. I cannot wait to play as a cat and guide that cat to safety. What's up?
The Americas is 10 days earlier on the 13th of June.
Okay, I knew there was a 3 in the date. So 13th for the US, 23rd for the UK. Coming up soon.
Well, Europe as a whole.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to Stray. Like the first time we saw this, like I was like, okay, sure. Like it's a game you play as a cat detective thing. I don't know. It looks. I don't know if you're a detective or not, but that's the vibe I got from it.
You know, I don't think you're a detective.
I mean, neither do I, but it's a vibe I got from it initially. And then once I watched this, I was like, this actually looks pretty damn good. I kind of want to buy this.
It looks awesome. And it's coming from Annapurna. And Annapurna, with their games, they tend to hit. They tend to be hits. So I'm expecting great things from Stray. You know what else I'm expecting great things from?
Is it this next game on the list?
It is the Callisto Protocol. This game being made by Striking Distance, headed up by Glenn Schofield, who was formerly at Sledgehammer Games, and before that at Visceral Games, where he was the lead on Dead Space, created the Dead Space franchise. Callisto Protocol, we first heard about it in 2020, I think, at the Game Awards. And it was announced to be part of the PUBG universe, and now it's not part of the PUBG universe, it's its own thing. But this trailer confirmed, as if it wasn't apparent already, this game is basically a spiritual successor to Dead Space in all but name. Essentially. But it looks so good. It looks so good, so creepy, so intense, and I'm into it.
I am not.
I understand. Do I think I will play it? Probably not. Would I like to? Probably. I would like to try and expand my horizons to try it out, because it looks so good, but it looks even more like intense than Dead Space was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, like I do think it looks really cool. I think it visually it looks really good, and the gameplay looks very, very intriguing, but not my kind of game.
Yeah, I don't know. It did something for me. I saw this, I was just like, oh, this looks so cool. It looks so good. And it's coming out on December 2nd for PS4 and PS5. So it's taking the slot of Final Fantasy XVI that I had predicted for that game. We'll get to Final Fantasy XVI later in the show, but my Final Fantasy XVI release date prediction was wrong. I was way off. But yeah, Callisto Protocol looks dope, and we'll be seeing more at Summer Game Fest. At Summer Game Fest, they did confirm we'll be getting more gameplay there. So that is cool. But yeah, I think I want to give Callisto Protocol a shot. I think I want to. We'll see. Like, hopefully they drop a demo or something. But I think I want to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm double checking. I'm trying to see if it was coming to. Yeah, it's coming to Xbox as well.
Yeah, sorry. I when I wrote the doc, they only had
yeah,
PS4 and PS5 there. That's I just wrote that down. I just wrote down what I saw here. But yes, it is coming to Xbox as well. We also got the next game that they showed. The next two games they showed actually really surprised me because I was just like, yes, give me this. Give me all of what this is. First up, Rollerdrome, which is essentially, it kind of has a visual aesthetic similar to Sable, kind of, sort of, in terms of like the graininess. So at first I thought this was like Sable. I'm like, oh, is this going to be Sable? But then we saw the roller skating and I was like, this is not Sable. As a visual aesthetic, somewhat similar to Sable, but it's like roller derby mixed with My Friend Pedro in terms of like the gunplay and the slow motion, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in terms of like some of the skating gameplay. Like, you go up the ramps and like the spinning. That was like straight out of Tony Hawk right there. It looks so cool. This game is made by Roll7, which is the team behind the Ali Ali games. So like I expect the skating to feel good, but it just looks so bizarre and wild and crazy, but it looks like so much fun. And when you read the post, they basically talk about how it's a momentum based action game. So you don't want to stop moving. You want to keep moving, always be on the move. Because if you stay still, you will die. As in games like Returnal, like in games like Sunset Overdrive, like you want to be on the move, taking out enemies, doing tricks and stuff. Will reload your weapons and everything, reload your ammo and all. It looks so cool. It is coming to PS4 and PS5 and PC, I believe, on August 16th. And it comes to Xbox and Switch in February of next year. There was a specific date, but I forgot what that date was. But it comes in February for Xbox and Switch. So you guys have to wait a bit, unfortunately. But it looks like such a fun game.
Yep, 100%. I am like the art style sold me on this game 100%. Like I haven't played Sable yet, but one of my the thing that is enticing me to play that game the most, I think, is the art style, and this just kind of captured that for me. And like it just looks really fun. That's really the best way I can describe it. It's just like it looks like it's gonna be so much fun to play that I really want to get it.
It does. It just, like I said, like roller derby, My Friend Pedro, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That's just a mix that like I never would have thought of, but it works. It looks like it works so well.
Yeah, 100%. It looks like it's going to be really, really fun.
Like just jumped in the like the skate and then the flip and just pew 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 pew, and then we keep on skating. We go up the ramp, just go up, break the ceiling, come back down. It's like, oh my gosh, we got rocket launchers to shoot at mechs and everything. It just looks absolutely wild. That just shot up my anticipation list. Like I didn't know about this game before, but I'm getting this one very soon. I plan to get this on day one. Another game that I would like to get on day one, don't know about Keiran, but this one spoke to me. Eternites, which is essentially it's an action game / dating sim. And I'm gonna level with you guys here. It is basically a more anime version of Persona. That is essentially what this game is, and that's on purpose. When you on Twitter, the creator, he said that I after playing Persona 5, I played Persona 4. After playing Persona 4, I played Persona 3. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna quit my job and make a game. And then he made Eternites. And it's basically a more anime version of Persona. You have your character, you have your cast of characters that like you can meet, your confidants, and you can form relationships with them, and eventually you can date your confidants. And you get better skills as you like form stronger bonds with them. You have like dungeons that you have to go through. You have to complete the dungeons by a certain date and everything. Like it is a more anime Persona. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to hear and see. And I am into it. visually it looks really cool. It's coming early next year, PS5 and PS4. I don't know if they announced other platforms for it, but it's coming early next year. I'm very into this game.
I will be getting this game. It looks real good.
Yes, let's go.
I am actually like it started off and I was like, okay, this looks a bit weird. I don't know if I'm into this. And then like it got into like combat and I was like, this looks fun. And then it got further in. I'm like, this looks real fun. So yeah, 100% getting this game. I'm into it. I'm hyped for it.
It just looks like it looks so cool. Like I love the visual style, the art style of it. It's nice. It's clean in a real minimal. I don't want to say minimalist way, but it has a clean aesthetic that also just like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard for me to like put into words of what it is I like so much. But like the lighting, the character designs, the clean aesthetic of everything, it just looks so visually appealing. And I was just like, you got me. You got me. This looks like it's a Persona. You are directly inspired by Persona, and you are anime Persona, even more so. I'm into you. Give me a date. Give me price. Give me more. Give me more. I just want to play you. That's all I want to do right now. So after we saw some Eternites, we got thrust into the world of fighting with Street Fighter VI. Capcom came back with a nice lengthy look at this game. I am normally not a Street Fighter person. I played a bit of Street Fighter 4. I like it. I like Street Fighter. It's a fun game. I just don't really play it. I think I will be getting Street Fighter 6, or at least I'm heavily interested in Street Fighter 6 as of right now. This trailer did a lot for me.
It did something for me too. Like I think I want to see more of it before I think I'm gonna get it. But like it looks really good. Like I don't keep up with Street Fighter. I mean, obviously I've seen fights in Street Fighter, but like I don't keep up with like what the gameplay's like or characters or anything like that. But this got me interested in the game at least.
Yeah, like I like that. I got a whole lot of stuff about this, but first let me do like a breakdown of kind of what we saw here. So first up, characters. Chun-Li, she's back. Ryu is back. Luke, who is recently added to Street Fighter V, he is back. And then we got a new character, Jamie. Those are the 4 characters that have been revealed as of right now. Officially revealed, I should state, because I don't know how this happened, but literally this state of play was on Thursday. By Saturday, the entire character list got leaked. Like the entire character roster was leaked with not just art, but like in-game menu screenshots, in actual gameplay of like one of the characters doing a super move finisher was revealed, like was leaked. Like actual, like it's just like, how did this happen? Like the game, it's like the game got released and then someone at Capcom just like kicked over the bucket of like information that they shouldn't reveal. They're like, all right, the game's announced, cool, let's show everything. Just like, no, you can't do that yet. Oops, well, I already dropped it on the internet. It's already on Reddit and YouTube and 4chan and Twitter. It's everywhere. I can't stop this. There's no plug in this hole now. So I'm not gonna say what was in the leak in terms of characters and stuff. I will say some characters you might expect are there, but I'm not gonna say anything else about the leak. If you want to go find it, go find it. It's easy to find. And Capcom themselves on the Street Fighter Twitter, they addressed, they were like, hey guys, so like we've all as people in the like this city, like Metro City, I think is what they said. We've all seen things we weren't supposed to see. But you know, thanks for the support. We got a long road ahead of us. And I was just like, all right, like how this happened literally 2 days after the game got announced is beyond me, but look cool. So those are the characters that have officially announced. We got a world tour mode that's announced, which is, as they say on the PlayStation blog, World Tour is a single-player immersive story mode that pushes the boundaries of what a fighting game is and allows you to leave your own legacy within Street Fighter 6 with your player avatar. And it's interesting because like you see, like seemingly you make your own character, and then you're kind of able to explore the world that they have, or at least explore for what we see, like a city, a specific city in the game. We didn't see much more than that, but I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That's neat. That's cool. There is Fighting Ground, which houses your typical modes like your online and local versus modes, your trading, your arcade modes, and other ones that they didn't name. And then there's the Battle Hub, which is like an online hub area that will, quote, bring new and unique forms of engagements and communication, according to Capcom. A couple other things to list off here. There's a new mechanic in the game called the drive system. If you want more details about any of these things, I highly recommend you go to the I believe Street Fighter 6's website. Like they've been like putting out information like, hey, this is what this is. This is what this is, like actual breakdowns of what these things are. So if you are at all interested in any of this, please go check their stuff out. And also check out their Twitter because they've also been putting stuff there as well. There are going to be two new control types. Well, not two new, but two control types. There is the classic control type, which is your traditional Street Fighter, where you have like the complex command inputs, so like the quarter circle A to do like a Hadouken, or like the Z motion, the forward back forward to do like your Shoryuken, like those type of command inputs. Then there'll also be the modern control type, which, as I read it, is similar to Smash Bros, where you do one directional input and you press a special move button to perform a special attack.
Okay.
Which is far more simple and more approachable and easier than the classic type. And like they said, like if you want to just do either one, it's up to you. Like, but I like that they have this modern one in here because classic Street Fighter control type, it can be a bit daunting. Try to remember, all right, quarter circle is this, half circle is this, forward back forward, like the dragon motion, like it could be complicated. Try to remember how to do all these different command inputs and stuff. So having a simplified approach for new players or players who just don't even want to have to deal with that stuff, the complex stuff, that's nice. It's neat. It's certainly going to make Street Fighter more enticing to many people. That's part of why I'm more interested in 6 than I have been in any of the prior ones, to be honest, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to tackle that real quick. I actually didn't know about those two modes, but that's one thing I always find really intimidating about going to like I don't really play Mortal Kombat or Smash or Injustice or whatever, but like try to learn a new move set for a game that has been out for ages is really complicated. So having a more simpler version for people like me who haven't played it before is really, really good.
Yeah. And like I've always liked that about Smash. I mean, granted, Smash is meant to be a more just like player friendly. It's like, hey, just like, it's a party game essentially. It's a fighting game, but it's also like a party game. It's meant for anyone to jump in and be able to just play right away. Whereas, you know, more, I guess you could say, hardcore fighting games like Street Fighter, like your Tekkens, like your Mortal Kombats, they're meant to be more technical, where you know, really get into the nitty gritty of the character movesets and all. But that does make them a bit harder to approach as a newcomer or a casual fighting game fan. So them doing this, it's awesome. I really like it. I'm really a fan of that move. And I hope that it encourages other fighting games to also apply something similar to their games. And I'm sure like some fighting game purists in the fighting game community might be like, no, you're making them too casual. But it's like, it's just an option. Like, it's just an option for those who, you know, who might want to get into the game, but are, I guess you could say, afraid or a bit scared or feel overwhelmed that by like the more technical, in-depth classic style of playing those games and all. Like, making it more approachable for any people to get more people into your game should never be a bad thing.
Yeah, and it also means that like for people like me who like, if I do pick this up and I haven't played Street Fighter before, I could start with the modern mode and then move into classic when I get more comfortable with the game.
Exactly. That's how people should think about it. That's exactly how people should think about it, and I hope they do. I haven't really seen. I haven't really looked into the comments too much and seen many people's opinions on it. But from what I have seen, people have been welcome to the modern style. They've been thinking it's a good thing. So hopefully that's what the majority thinks as well. There is another cool new feature that they have called the real-time commentary feature that has fighting game community pros commentating over a match as it plays out. So they have actual pros like recording dialogue and stuff, recording lines that they'll have playing over a match as it's playing out.
That's cool.
Like, they had dropped the trailer for it. It's like they have dropped the trailer of a match playing out, and like you hear the commentary, and it's like, that is awesome. Like that's the thing that that's the thing that no one, I don't think really anyone would have thought to ask for, but because it's there, it's like that is awesome. It just serves to make fights more exciting and more intense.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. You will have somebody basically like kind of shoutcasting your match.
Yeah, exactly. It's super cool. It's super neat. And just visually, just from a art style perspective, I like how ever since Street Fighter 4, there's been like a ink aesthetic that they've had in the game when it comes to like doing super moves and stuff.
Okay.
So like in Street Fighter 6 now, it's graffiti. Like the graffiti kind of is amplifying that ink aesthetic. So it's like graffiti and paint now.
Yeah.
And it's just super cool. I'm like, oh, I like that. It's a neat little touch that they added to the game. So yeah, they also changed the logo. The logo looks better now than it did before. So yeah, it's coming next year. Coming next year to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Yep. Not exclusive anymore. So that's awesome. That's great for the game. Really looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to seeing more of this game. I actually might pick up Street Fighter 6.
Same.
Next up, we got 2 indie games here. Tunic announced for PlayStation, PS4, and PS5. September 27th is when it comes out. Very cool. And then Season, A Letter to the Future, that got a new trailer. This is not the first time we've seen the game. We've seen the game at other shows before in the past. Rebecca Valentine at IGN Now, I believe she was at gamesindustry.biz when she did a report on the dev team over there on the studio and how the studio, there were issues over like workplace issues over there. I don't remember the specifics of it. So it's like, oh wow, yeah, the game's back. I remember that story, but the game's back, and the game looks cool. Looks like a more looks like a calming, chill type of game, like that type of vibe. So I'm into it. I may or may not get it, but it looks neat. It is coming this fall. So there is that. And then the big one that everyone has been waiting for since September 2020. At long last, we got our new look at Final Fantasy XVI. Not just cutscenes, we got gameplay. Some neat gameplay, neat story details, and I don't even know where to begin. Keiran, what do you think of Final Fantasy 16 when you saw this?
It looks dope. Like it looks really, really good. Like one, visually, like in the gameplay elements they did show, like it looks absolutely stunning. But two, the like this might be a little weird, but like the Attack on Titan vibes kind of I got
from the icons fighting each other, right? Like it's just larger than life battle. Just like, oh my gosh.
It's awesome. It looks really cool, and I am 100% getting this game when it comes out.
Yes, I'm very much into these huge epic scale battles. And the thing I noticed in the trailer that I really like is how they're taking what 7 Remake does with its boss fights, where you'll be fighting the boss and then like you'll have a quick little cinematic cutscene during the fight, but you never leave the fight for that cutscene, and then transitions right back into the fight. 16 is doing that too, and I like how it's doing that, just to make fights seem more epic and cinematic and all. The icons, they look absolutely wild. The gameplay, as this wasn't clear from the first trailer, the gameplay is definitely far more action heavy than any Final Fantasy has been in the past. The reason for this is because, if I'm right, one of the person leading the combat worked on Devil May Cry. So that's why when you look at the game, you're looking like, what is up with this? Like just combining moves together. We have like a move list on the side, like you did this and that and everything. Like it looks very, very action heavy. I understand that'll be very off-putting for some fans who have been wanting it to be more turn-based, but I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks really fun. It looks really cool. Like I could do an in-depth breakdown of this gameplay if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now. But like there are implications where like in the top left you have your your health and everything, and then there are 3 icons for the icons in the game. So like this kind of was implied in the first trailer that you are actually able to use the abilities of the icons, like use their strength. So like you could do moves from Titan, you could do moves from Phoenix. This trailer confirms it. where you're able to switch between the powers of different icons. So whether it be Titan or Garuda, who is confirmed to be in this game, or Phoenix or Shiva, who like you can use their abilities and switch between them on the fly. And each icon has like different moves along with them. And like in the bottom right, you see their different moves that you can use, that like the different powers you get from them and all. It looks really cool. I would love to play a demo of this game though, to actually get a feel for it. Hope 15 they put out 2 demos, so I hope they do that with this one.
Yeah, I will be using Bahamut if I can.
If we can, hopefully, I imagine at some point that might. I imagine like Bahamut is like the baddest of the bad, but not like evil villain type, but like he's the baddest of the bad when it comes to like strength of Final Fantasy summons. Like he is, as far as I understand, the strongest of them all. So if we ever get Bahamut, that might be like a last, like one of the final summons we end up getting in the game.
Yeah.
He looks cool.
Purely the only reason I want to choose Bahamut is because Bahamut is a Dungeons and Dragons god.
Ah, interesting.
Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon.
I never knew that. Yeah, let me actually confirm the icons or summons that we saw in the trailer. Shiva, of course. Titan, Phoenix, we already knew about those. Ifrit, we knew about. Bahamut was shown. Odin was shown as well. Garuda, officially confirmed. And the last one, I'm blanking on it. Rama was shown as well. All of those summons / icons in the game. Very cool. And we got a bit more information about, I guess you could say a bit more information about the story. We now understand that Dominance, because we heard that name in the first game. Who was like the dominant of this person, the dominant of the icon of Shiva, Titan's dominant. Dominants, we now know, are people who are able to become these icons, who are able to become these summons.
Yeah.
So Phoenix, the kid Joshua, he was the dominant of Phoenix. He is able to become Phoenix. Titan's icon, we got confirmed, is to be Hugo Kepka. He is the dominant of the icon Titan. And then Benedicta Harmon, she is the dominant of Garuda. So it now becomes a mystery of, okay, I wonder, as we play the story, who are going to be the dominants for these other icons, and how are they going to play into things in terms of the story and everything. It's going to be so interesting. Like, I'm really into the story, really into the gameplay. It's coming next year, next summer, very far off from my December 2nd release date, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Take all the time you need to polish this game. It's all good. 2023 is going to be a crazy year for games, though. It's going to be an absolutely wild year. This, Starfield, Redfall, Breath of the Wild sequel next year as well. Street Fighter 6 next year. Resident Evil 4 is next year. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is next year. Supposedly all of these right now are next year. Just like already, next year's looking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's not even taking into account all the things that PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whoever not announced to be coming out next year.
Exactly. Like 2023 is already shaping up to be one of the best years of gaming.
Yeah.
So far. If I have one gripe though about 16, it is the UI. I am not specifically. My gripe with the UI specifically is the health bars at the top, because they are so big and stick out so much tonally and visually from the actual game that like it takes me out. Like if they were smaller, it might be not that big a deal, but because the bars, they look like one, they came out of a fighting game, but also they look more futuristic. They look like they would fit better in Final Fantasy XIII, which has a whole futuristic tone and aesthetic and everything, as opposed to this game, which is more fantasy and grounded. So because of that, like it just sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm just like, I don't really like that part of the UI. I've seen some people talk about, they feel that the numbers, the damage numbers coming off of enemies when you attack them, that it's like it's too much and they're too big. I can understand that. I don't have a problem with it, but I can understand that complaint as well. But I think the UI could use a bit of tweaking, could use a bit of work to make it more visually appealing. Because also right now, the way that the health bars are on the UI, it makes it look like placeholder images. It doesn't make it look like it's the official final UI. It makes it look like we're still working on it. We're not. This is what we have right now. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at this now. I like it kind of almost looks like you have. So yeah, there's a big green bar at the top, then there's like 3 yellow bars under it. It just looks a bit clunky.
Yeah, for me, it's not even about clunkiness. Like I said, it's just about like the visual aesthetic. It just doesn't look like it fits with 16 and what 16's tone and aesthetic is. It looks like it should be in a different game.
Yeah, I can see that.
So hopefully they end up working on it, fixing that up some.
Yeah.
But that aside, I was very excited by 16, very pleased with what we saw. And overall, that was our state of play. That was a state of play. And I think it was a banger of a state of play. Easily
100%.
Like, and if I'm grading it A to F, it's an A. It was an A for sure.
Yep. I agree.
Like you said at the start, it had everything in here, looked great. I think it had something for everyone. And it didn't linger on any one thing for too long. Like the PSVR stuff, like going into this, I thought PSVR was going to be like a good chunk of the show. It was not. It was like less than 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes at most.
Yeah.
And that was it. Everything else, it was like bam, 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 bam. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through it just now. The only things I'm not like super interested in are probably The Walking Dead, Callisto, and like a little bit Season A Letter to the Future. Like I'll have to go back and rewatch that one. But like just because I'm not interested in them doesn't mean that I didn't like enjoy seeing them. Like they looked really good. Like you say, like this thing had something for everyone, and it was a really, really good show. I will also grade it an A.
I wonder, I saw some people positing this online. Do you think that we're so high on it because Sony might have undersold how big the show is going to be? Or do you think that they didn't undersell it and that it was just actually like, we're so high on it because it was a really, really great show? Because I don't think they undersold it. They said third-party reveals and announcements, some PSVR 2 stuff. That is all they said. And that is what we got. They didn't I don't think they undersold this in any way.
No, I mean, neither do I. I can kind of see where that point of view would come from, but I definitely think that we are just so hyped on it because it was really, really good.
Yeah. And I think part of why people are saying, oh, I think they undersold it is because Sony has said in the past, this is state of play with third-party announcements and, this stuff in it. And those state of plays, they met those expectations, but what they showed wasn't really all that hot. It was just like, all right, it was fine. This is what it was. So I think people went in expecting that type of third-party state of play, and they instead got a top-tier third-party state of play instead. So yeah, very great state of play.
Yep.
And an awesome way to kick off Summer Game Fest, because it's attached to Summer Game Fest. It was so fantastic way to kick it off. And the fun continues on I was about to say 10th September on June 9th with Jeff Keighley's State of Summer Game Fest kickoff showcase.
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Before we get there, though, we got some Nintendo stuff to talk about because Pokemon Scarlet and Violet dropped a brand new trailer for the game that I feel like showed a lot, but also didn't show much. Like it showed cool. It showed a lot of new things, but at the same time, didn't really do much to tell me about these new things, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like I kind of agree with you. Like I don't keep up with Pokemon stuff. It's like not hugely my kind of game. I don't actively like go out and buy them. But like the only Pokemon game I think I've bought in recent memory is Shield or Sword. I can't remember which one I bought. But so like I don't really know what to look for in terms of like, oh, they're showing off a lot or they're showing off a little bit. I don't know.
Well, let's start going into the show with it. We got the confirmation that for the first time ever, each version will have a different professor. Normally, both versions have the same professor. This time, they have different professors. Scarlet has Professor Sada. Violet has Professor Turo. And people notice that they're dressed differently. Like Professor Sada is wearing, her outfit under her lab coat is more like I guess one you would say is like a wild quote unquote outfit, like something you would see like someone wearing in the wilds. I don't know. Whereas Professor Turo, his outfit under his lab coat is more futuristic and more like technical in a sense. So people have noticed that, like, huh, interesting. Okay. But that's neat. Each version has its own different professor. And people were like, oh my God, they're both hot. What do I do? Who do I pick? What is even happening right now?
Yeah.
Which is a choice. It's also correct. It's a very correct statement right there. They are both hot. We have hot professors now, unlike in the past. I don't think we've ever had hot professors in the past. Our rival is Nimona. She is a skill trader who's great in battle, according to the website, but she's not the best at catching Pokemon. She's not the best at throwing the Pokeballs. But she's cool. She seems cool. I like her energy, her disposition, and her demeanor. The trailer revealed we're able to change our character's skin color, and there are different hairstyles as well. And I mean, it's not the first time, if I'm correct, that Pokemon has had different hairstyles. But there were notably like 2 black hairstyles, and I don't think that's been in like Pokemon games, specifically Sword Shield or the one before that. So it's like, ooh, that's cool. That's neat. Do I care that much? Probably not, because I'm probably not going to use either of those hairstyles, because one of them was a girl hairstyle and the other one that's a guy hairstyle is one I wouldn't wear. But it's cool that it's there regardless. That is a cool thing. But the big thing that they showed in the trailer, but they didn't say this in the trailer actually, but we kind of knew about this beforehand. The game is open world. We knew that already. But they confirmed, not in the trailer, but afterwards, like on their website, that you're able to explore the world and go through the story at your own pace in the order you want to. So normally in Pokemon games, there's a specific order. You leave your town, then you go to the next one. You do that gym, you go to the next one, then so on and so forth. There's a specific route you have to go down.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it's like, no, you can go through the story in whatever order you want to, which is really neat. And I like that they're doing that. It does bring the question though of how are they going to handle leveling in this game? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's going to be interesting because, I mean, you could just go and level up all your Pokemon a bunch and then go through the story and breeze through.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, but more so, I was thinking like, if, say, for example, you go to a gym that would ordinarily be like halfway through the game, and at that point, the gym level would typically be around, let's say, like, I don't know, 30. I'm just throwing a number. Let's say the gym level would normally be 30 at that point, right? If you go there first or second, and your Pokemon are only like level 15-ish or so, is the gym still going to be at the level it would normally be? Or is like, are the gym levels going to scale to whatever level you're at when you get to it? Is more so what I'm wondering.
Okay.
In terms of like story progression, like are story events going to scale to your level, or are they going to be at a certain level? It's like, hey, you got to meet this level, bro.
Yeah.
We're too tough for you.
I mean, if it works like the latter, then they're kind of still railroading you a bit.
Exactly. Like they definitely would be.
My point.
No, yeah, they would be. I think.
Yeah.
I think you can't say you can go through the story in whatever order you want without some form of level scaling being there.
Yeah, exactly.
You just can't. So I imagine there'll be level scaling for the story stuff. Now for wild Pokemon encounters, that's a different story. I think it'd actually be cool if you're in an area that's like late game, supposed to be late game or whatever, or it's like a high level area, and like you get there and they say, hey, these Pokemon are like level 50, you're level 20. You should not be like fighting any of these Pokemon at all. Like you have no business being here. That would be cool. I think that'd be neat. It's just the story aspect of things. Like how do you approach the scaling of it so that if I can really approach it whatever order I want to, I will always be good, you know?
Yeah.
If enemies are a bit stronger than me, they're like maybe no more than like 5 levels stronger than me. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I could potentially like take them on. It might be a challenge, but I could take them on and not like 20 levels higher than me. Where it's like, all right, like clearly this was meant for me to be stronger at this point in time.
Yeah. Every time you go to a new battle, just immediately go to the option that says run.
Run away, run away. That goes into something I saw and was a bit disappointed by with this trailer though. The fact that it seems like the game is going more classic Pokemon as in terms to in approach in regards to its approach to the open world. And when I say that, I'm comparing it to Legends Arceus, where in Arceus you could like catch a Pokemon without having to fight it. You could fight Pokemon in the open world, but like it wasn't your traditional turn-based type battle where like you see a Pokemon and then everything stops and then you go to a different screen and you fight them there. Like in Legends Arceus, it's saying like you see a Pokemon in the open world, you could toss your Pokeball at it and like walk around the field while the fight's going on. Like it's not transitioning to a separate thing. That's how Legends Arceus was. I was hoping that this one would do that same thing, but it doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like it's still going to be traditional Pokemon where, yeah, you can kind of like sneak up on a Pokemon, but like when you go to catch it or you go to fight it, you end up on a separate screen, your traditional turn-based, stuff. Like it's not taking any of the things that Legends Arceus did well or did new for the franchise. And that could be expected, like the games developed clearly at the same time. And they might want to keep the stuff that Legends Arceus did for like its own Legends sub-series and not bring that into the main line. But I think what they did new and well with Legends Arceus, which people loved, are things that they should carry over into the mainline series. People have been asking for the mainline series to evolve and change for a long time, and things like that would freshen it up some.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, like I can see your point of view saying that they might want to keep some stuff in like Legends sub-series of Pokemon games, but like if you never evolve the mainline, I was away to say if you never evolve the mainline series, then like people are going to get stagnated on it. But it's Pokemon; people are always going to buy Pokemon. So
yeah, and I mean also if you never evolve the mainline series, it's just going to stay as like a starter Pokemon. So like it's never gonna never gonna reach its second or third form. You're gonna be stuck with your Charmander. You're not gonna have your Charizard.
Yeah, you're gonna be stuck with your Eevee and not your something Eon.
Leafeon, Flareon, Jolteon.
Sure.
I just named them. I just named a bunch. Vaporeon, Umbreon, Vespion, I believe is one. There's a fairy one. I don't know the name of it though. I think I said most of them actually. I think I said most of them. I think I said most of the evolutions. Good on me. Sylveon, there we go.
Is the fairy one.
Yeah. I think that's all of them then. I might have missed one, but I'm pretty sure I said all of them.
I wouldn't be able to correct you if you did.
Just a few of the Pokemon little details here. The multiplayer, in addition to the traditional multiplayer stuff, you can also explore the world with up to 4 other people, which is cool.
That's cool.
They like briefly showed it, but didn't like actually explain more. Like, hey, like, are we able to? Like they just showed in the trailer, hey, 4 people came together and they said, bye, and then went off. They met up in one spot and then went off a different direction. So it's just like, how in depth does that exploration with up to 4 other people get? Like, what are the things you can actually do with 4 other players when you're playing together and all? Like, I wonder how in depth that stuff gets. I would like to see, because that could also make the game more fun, make playing with others a better experience, a more cool and interesting experience. And then we got some new Pokemon reveals. Pawmi looks like a little cute little guy. Lechonk, which is a pig of sorts, a pig or a boar. I like that name, like Lechonk.
I love the name.
And then I like the next one too, Smoliv. It's a small little, it's supposed to be like a little olive type thing. Look adorable, but they're also putting like meme culture in the names, and I love it.
Yeah.
And then we got the reveal of the legendary Pokemon for the games. For Scarlet, it is Koraidon. For Violet, it is Miraidon, and they both look like motorcycles. Like if you look at them, there's like Miraidon has like what are clearly supposed to be like tires on it on the front, like black tires, like traditional ones, and then Miraidon has what looks like futuristic type tires. I like their designs; they're cool, and they look like they're like dragon. They're clearly dragon types for sure, but what their other mixture is like up for debate. I don't know if it's actually been officially revealed.
I honestly don't know. If I do end up getting one of these, which like at this point I think it's 50-50. Like
Yeah,
I might, I might not. But if I do get one, it's gonna be Violet.
if I get one, it's gonna be Scarlet. It's because red. And I think I'm torn between the legendaries in terms of like which one I think looks better. I think they both look really cool, but I would definitely be getting Scarlet because of red, and also Professor Sada. Professor Sada though, Professor Sada is she's looking nice. She looks nice. I mean, we got ourselves two hot professors, and I can't turn down Professor Sada. I'm sorry. I can't. Whatever she asks me to do, I will do. She says, hey, go capture that Pokemon and like, just go capture it, bring it back to me. I'll do it. If she says, hey, go steal that kid's Pokemon and bring it to me, I might question why, but I will do it eventually because it's Professor Sada asked me to do it for her. It's going to happen. Yeah. She asked me to start a Pokemon fighting ring. It might be a different story. We'll have to have a debate. We'll have to have a discussion about that one. Maybe she can convince me to do it though, because it's Professor Sada we're talking about here. Any final thoughts on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? What we saw with this trailer?
Nope.
Nope. That's you're all Pokemon'd out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not that I don't care about Pokemon. It's just that I don't care about Pokemon.
So you just not that I don't care, so I don't care. You just don't care about. You're not a Pokemon guy. There's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. Totally fine. It's all good. We'll stop our Pokemon discussion here then. Save you the trouble of having to endure more of it. You're welcome. All right, we're done with the Pokemon talk now. We're gonna move into Sonic Frontiers. Yeah. With Sonic Frontiers. We got our first look at gameplay for the game this week, courtesy of IGN. Again, like we said at the top of the episode, they have the exclusive magazine type coverage of it for this month. And they broke out the first bit of gameplay for it. First, we saw some exploration gameplay, Sonic just running around the world, running up things, doing a few puzzles and stuff. And then we saw some combat gameplay of Sonic like fighting machine like robot looking things. And the reception has not been great. I think that's being nice. What do you think of Sonic Frontiers, what we've seen so far, Keiran?
I thought it looked all right. Like, again, I'm not a huge Sonic person. I've never played like one of like the modern 3D Sonic games. I think the last one I played was
Please say Adventure 2. Please say you at least played Adventure 2.
I have never played Sonic Adventure.
Adventure 2. Please say you played Adventure 2. Please say Adventure 2.
No, I haven't played 1 or 2.
You are missing out on one of the. I was talking about this with my girlfriend the other day. You are missing out on what is undeniably one of the most iconic and most fun first levels of a video game ever made, with Sonic Adventure 2.
Is that the Escape to the City?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've seen that. I haven't played it.
Oh my! Seeing it is cool. Playing it, it's just like, this is fun. This is fun.
I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been Sonic Riders.
Sonic Riders is a fun game. I had that one.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. So I don't think I've played a Sonic game since then. But
what about Sonic Heroes? Did you ever have that one?
Oh, I think so.
Sonic Heroes. Sonic Heroes.
I think I might have. I can't exactly remember, but I think I might have. So like, that's the last like Sonic game that I played.
Same here. I haven't played any past that.
Yeah. So like, I haven't kept up with like how good they have been, or like outside of like watching reviews and like public opinion of like Sonic Boom and that. So,
Sonic's had a bumpy ride to say the least.
Yeah.
He hasn't had the best experience with many modern games. Like if I understand correctly, Colors in Sonic Generations has been like the high point of Sonic for the past like decade or so.
So I thought this looked all right.
you might be in the minority on that, to say the
probably.
least. It looks rough. It looks rough. I saw a lot of people saying this. It looks like, of course, it's still early in development, but it looks like a tech demo. It looks like those videos that you see people do of like Mario or Sonic in Unreal Engine 4, and just like, because like it's the world looks, at least from what we saw, the gameplay that we saw, the environment we saw, it looked a bit empty, to say the least. There was a lot of pop-in that we saw. Seeing like the rails in the distance, but like they just look like they're just like, obviously, yes, they are floating in the air, but they look like bad floating in the air from like a distance. Like it looks like something else should be there, but it hasn't loaded in yet. It just looks so weird and bizarre. There's that, and then there's the fact that Sonic himself, in terms of like his motion, like running and everything, it looks stiff. It doesn't look like there's any actual life or fluidity to him when he's running, or when he's walking, when he's grinding or making like landing on the ground. It doesn't look like there's any like actual life to it. It just looks all stiff and lifeless. Like it doesn't look like polished. I mean, again, the game is still early. It's still in development. Of course, things can change, but as the first look at the game, this was not the foot to start off with at all, in my opinion. I think this, like from very jump, everyone's just like, ooh, wait a minute now. This isn't looking all that great. Like it's not setting a very good first impression. And if we have a month to go of this, it's gonna be a long and rough month for the game.
Yeah, and like I will clarify, I didn't mean visually when I said it looked all right. Like visually, it doesn't look great, but like it, for me at least, in terms of like the I guess like fundamental gameplay mechanics, I guess like that was more what I meant when I was like, it looks all right. It looks like it will be fun to play, even though right now it looks like a 360 game that hasn't loaded in properly.
See, I somewhat agree with you, but like the game looks like the concepts, the basic concepts and ideas that they are going for, I have potential, and I like the ideas of concepts. Like, we have this kind of open world of sorts, and you're able to go grinding around it and everything, and finding secrets and puzzles. That's all cool. That's all interesting. It's the fact that the way it's presented does not look interesting. Part of that is because the environment was empty, so it looks like there's nothing there except for these things you find. It looks like that is a test area. It looks like the presentation was in an in-development test area that they're using to test out things for Sonic. It doesn't look like this is a final area that's going to be in the game. It looks like an area like, all right, we're just going to make this area just to try out different ideas and stuff. And because of that, like, I understand what you're going for in terms of concepts and ideas, but the way you're presenting it to me, it just looks boring. It looks boring in terms of like, all right, what am I running around for? I'm running up this thing and there's coins up here, I guess. And then we saw a couple times he like ran around like a thing and like left a trail behind him to solve a puzzle, but it's like, what is that? How do we do that? What is this thing that we are showing us here? It didn't look like, as I watched a lot of Pierce's reaction today, and she echoed something I saw a lot of people say, that it looks just like directionless in terms of what we're seeing. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's all this for? And then the combat, when you watch the combat, the stiff animations stick out even more. Like when Sonic is like attacking the machine that he's fighting in the air and just like bam, 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 bam. And like his animations look really stiff and all. It's just like, like this, it needs work. And it I think it's supposed to come out this year, but it needs to be delayed. I think it needs to be delayed again. Like it's not looking great right now.
No.
So, I mean, I wasn't hyped for it or excited for it anyway.
Yeah, neither was I.
But this has certainly put a major damper on like, ooh, okay, y'all take some time. Take 10 and come back to us in a bit once you have something better. Hopefully what we see more of throughout the month, hopefully that like changes opinions on things, but very bad first impression for Sonic Frontiers in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stuff that we've seen for it has left me like kind of in the same place I was before I saw it, where I was like, it's cool it exists. I'm probably not going to get it. Not like that big of a Sonic fan, but we'll see.
We will see indeed. That's all our news for this week, though. We got some brief mentions to get through, and not a lot because again, this is the week before showcases really start kicking off, so it's a bit of a light week. Next week's episode, though, it's gonna be all about Summer Games Fest, Summer Games Fest showcase. We'll talk about that a bit in this episode, though. Brief mentions first. Sony has sold 20 million PS5 units officially. I believe there was like a date that they threw on that. I forgot like as of like what date it was.
I will check.
Let me see if I can get to it first before you. But they have sold 20 million PS5 units, and they are planning a significant ramp up in production, which is great. Again, like so do they want to try and sell as many boxes of these as they can. And they've been having difficulty because of production pipelines and all, but they're trying to make it work. I'm reading the GamesIndustry.biz article that this came from by Christopher Drain, because they were the ones that revealed this information. And there is no like as of this date thing for when they sold the 20 million. So we can just say that as of what day was this? As of June 3rd, we can say that they have sold 20 million PS5 units.
Yeah.
Great for Sony.
I do have one thing I want to, just a fun little tidbit, I guess. Just for I'm reading this from an IGN article by Ryan Dinsdale. For reference, the PS4 sold 20 million units in 15 months and 14 days. The PS5 sold 20 million units after 18 months and 22 days.
Yeah. So again, not surprising. Sony, they forecasted like lower sales than they initially expected. Again, due to supply shortages and stuff like that. But as we kind of talked about, I don't know if I talked about it last week on the episode, but in their investor briefing, they do anticipate production to ramp up and start surpassing PS4 sales like at its point in the lifetime. So
yeah,
it'll be improving soon. We got the PS Plus games for June though. Those got announced. God of War is coming. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers is coming, and the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, I believe that is the PS5 exclusive PS Plus game for June. I'm just saying, PS Plus game is God of War, the merchandise kicking off. I think that date's coming this month. For Ragnarok, I think Ragnarok's release date is coming this month. I think we're getting close to it. I think we are. Signs are pointing to it. Yep. All the signs are pointed to it. Give me that, what did I say, September 14th or September something release date? I forgot which date it was. Give me the date I called. Give me the date I called, please and thank you.
Yeah. So I want to tack on two things. One, interesting that they have two fighting games in their PS Plus lineup. But two, I wonder if what you just said, that you think the date is coming this month. Wonder if that means that they will have their big showcase this month instead of later in the year like you did last year.
I think if they can easily still do the showcase in September, like if they want to, but just do like a blog post or a God of War state of play on their own for June.
Could do
to release that information. I think that is a likely possibility. It depends on, again, we gotta wait and see what they do, but I think that's a likely possibility. BioWare has announced that Dragon Age will not be coming this year, but the name of the game is officially Dragon Age Dreadwolf. That is now what Dragon Age 4 was. It is now called Dragon Age Dreadwolf. We'll be getting more details later this year. So we can easily scratch that off our predictions that we had.
Yep.
We will not be seeing that game at all anytime soon. Is what it is, but at least the game has a title now. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, that's been delayed out of Ubisoft's 2023 fiscal year. A number of different retailers were like delisting it and were like refunding on pre-orders and all, which had people wondering, oh, is it canceled? It's not canceled. It's just super delayed.
Delayed again.
Take their time. Devolver Digital has announced their summer showcase, Devolver Marketing Countdown to Marketing will air June 9th at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time. It is 30 minutes long. Will I watch this? Maybe. Devolver's shows, they're always really weird. Maybe I'll give it a watch.
I'm really looking forward. They're one of my favorite people who put on shows just because they are like really weird. So I'm really looking forward to it.
We will see it. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed gets releasing on August 30th. I believe it is only new gen consoles and PC, right? It's not PS4 and Xbox One.
I will double check, but I think you are right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they said they were dropping last gen consoles because they just wanted to for this release.
Yeah.
So carrying out the info. He got the scoop.
You are correct. Series
I
X, Series S, PC, PlayStation 5.
No Switch. No PS4, no Xbox One.
Nope.
And last but not least, Diablo Immortal, the mobile game that just released, has been canceled in Belgium and the Netherlands. Is not releasing there due to loot box laws. So I'm sorry if you were in Belgium and the Netherlands looking forward to playing it. It's not happening over there. Those are all of our brief mentions for this week, though. We're going to move right on into what we've been playing. I will go first because I don't have much of an update. I've been playing a bit some 7 Remake. Didn't play too much this week. But I am up. I finished the Honeybee Inn, just finished doing that sequence. So now I'm about to head on into Cordeo's Mansion. Yeah, didn't really play that much this week because I was like, some days I was just really tired, but also I was like catching up on Stranger Things, and I caught up entirely on Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those 2 days. And boy, oh boy, that last episode,
yeah,
I was just like, oh, wow,
yeah,
never would have called this stuff. Whoa, way to have me by like, you got me like this right here,
yeah,
at the end of it. But I understand why we're doing this narrative break. Man, good stuff.
Like to get off video games for a minute, like I was literally on the edge of my seat for the last like 3/4 of the last episode of season 4, or at least volume 1.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Like what? Just like that whole monologue. I was just like, oh,
yep,
oh, man. Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
So good.
And like I called part of that monologue during that monologue, I called a specific detail of it before it got revealed. But like the majority of it, I was just like, oh man, I did not expect this. I did not expect this. So very surprising. Also, real quick, I don't like to do this often when I'm talking about shows, because it's just like it kind of gets people like expectations raised for a certain thing. Like, oh man, I can't wait to get to this episode because everyone says this episode's really good. But episode 4 might be my favorite. I think it's my favorite episode of this season. And it's been a while since I've seen seasons 1 through 3, but it might be my favorite episode of the entire series. Solely for that one specific moment. I'm not going to say what that moment is, but there's like a 5-minute sequence that is just amazing and had me on the edge of my seat. I'm not saying when in the episode it is for spoiler reasons, but if you've seen the episode, you should know what moment I'm talking about. It is beautiful.
I think so.
It is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
We'll talk about it after we stop recording.
Oh my gosh. Just got to run up that hill, man. Just got to run up that hill. So beautiful. That's the most I'll say about it. But that's why I didn't play much this week. That was my hint for you as well as to what part I'm talking about. If anyone has seen the episode, you know exactly what part I'm talking about. Keiran, though, what have you been playing the past 2 weeks since you were here?
Okay, I'm sure there are more games on this list, but I genuinely can't think of what they are. Like, I tried to go back and look at what I've been playing, and I can't remember. One that's not on this list is like I've been playing like a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist just to like kill time.
Yeah,
because like I really enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So I've played that, but I don't really have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
I will go in order of, I'll basically go from like top to bottom, kind of, but then I'll switch the last two. I have started kind of replaying Gravity Rush Remastered. I only started that yesterday.
You just said you were going from top to bottom. Now you're going bottom to top.
Oh, well, I meant bottom to top when
Gotcha.
when I said it. Hey-ho.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started playing it again. I have played 10 minutes of it because like at the point I played it, I was really tired. So I'm like, you know what? I want to stop playing this and like actually go back to it when I can focus on it properly.
Right. Makes sense.
But like I played it, or at least I played a bit of it, maybe like an hour or two, I think. Back when I had a PS4 ages ago. And I never got around to finishing it. So I was like, you know what? It's in the sale. I'll pick it up. I've heard a lot of good things. I enjoyed it when I played it last. So yeah.
Such a great game.
Just kind of like not really talking about like what I've been playing for that one, more like what I'm going to be playing for that one.
Yeah. It's a great game. Super great. I hope you enjoy it. I really hope you do.
I think I have a similar thing to Loot River that you did.
Just plays for 10 minutes like, nope, I'm good.
Yep. Played it for 15 minutes and I was like, I like the premise and I think it's interesting, but I'm just not having fun.
Yeah. And like when I listened to Easy Allies Frame Trap podcast, one of the more recent ones, they talked about the game, and they kind of some of them on there were like, yeah, like after you play for a couple hours, like the game gets good, but like at the start, like there's not really any good loot, and like the souls like roll like mechanics, or like they can be a bit I don't want to say difficult, but like they were kind of echoing some of the same sentiments I had. It's like, like the beginning's really not that great. That's why I just bounced out hard.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I say, like I was really excited for this game before it came out. Like it looked like it was going to be really good, and it looked really interesting, and the premise was awesome, and like I loved how you could like Tetris stack your way around the map.
Right.
And then I started playing it and I'm like, I get what they were trying to do with it. And I get that, like, I do think that it's a good game. I'm just not having fun with it.
Yeah. It's just not clicking with you.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my 15-minute experience with Loot River.
Between the two of us, we have played a combined 30.
Yep. I'm still. I said I was going to start this. I think last time when I talked about what I was going to be playing, I said I was going to start Trek to Yomi. I haven't started that yet, but it is installed in my system.
Nice.
The other game that I bought, the other 3 games that I bought in the PlayStation Days of Play sale was the Crisis Remastered trilogy.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice.
I saw it was £25, and I'm like, you know what? It's been a while since I've played the Crisis games. They're on sale. I might as well.
Yeah.
I have actually never played Crisis 1. I thought I had.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
I thought I had, but I haven't, because as I was playing it, I was like, I don't recognize any of this at all. I mean,
that one takes place on an island, not in the city.
While I had fun playing it, and I really like Crisis 1 as a game, it was janky as hell playing it. Like,
do you mean like the performance or like just like the gameplay? Because if I'm right, like the game, I don't know if the performance issues have been fixed, but if I'm right, like when it first came out, there were some like performance issues.
So that like the game itself is really fun. I mean, I've said this before. Crisis is one of my favorite game series that I've played.
Yeah.
So and like playing Crisis 1. Like, it's definitely like nowhere near close to touching Crisis 3 is my favorite. But
3 is your favorite. Interesting.
Yeah, 3. Like, honestly, a lot of it is because of the bow and arrow. I love going invisible, sneaking.
That's fair. I enjoyed that too.
Yeah. Like I really, really enjoy 2, and I'll get onto that because that's the other one I've been playing. But like Crisis 1 in terms of performance, for the first half of the game was like okay to pretty good. Like, there weren't that many bugs. I think I had to restart it maybe once or twice to fix a couple things. it's only when I got into the latter half of the game that it really started to like. So that these is where, or the thing that like sticks in my mind is I was playing a level towards the end of the game where you are like trying to pull somebody out of a VTOL, and you have
Okay.
I don't know if they're called. No, I mean, they don't have a name in the first one because it's a new alien species. But the aliens are flying around on top, and you have to, and it's your job to defeat them while Prophet tries to pull somebody out of the VTOL.
Okay.
Um, and like the aliens kept getting stuck on the top of the VTOL, which like you could still kill them, but when you kill them, like it wouldn't register that you did, so you would have to like like it wouldn't progress the story any further because it wouldn't obviously you can't progress till you kill all of them, so you had to reload into the game. And I kept getting that issue and kept getting that issue and kept getting that issue for like 4 or 5 times I tried it, and I was like, okay, let me just try and restart the game entirely.
Yeah.
Well, not like the story, just like dashboard it and go back in, which fixed it. And I was
Nice.
like easy fix, fair enough. Probably shouldn't be happening. That's real buggy.
Yeah.
And it was from that moment on, there were a lot of moments where it's like, hey, I'm doing this thing that I'm meant to do, but like it's not registering that I'm doing it. So I have to like load my last checkpoint.
Yeah.
Or like there's a mission where you are flying a VTOL through like canyons to try and get back to like the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And
I
you
vaguely remember that one.
yeah like it was really difficult to control like flying the VTOL, and it was really difficult to actually like move forward. Like I for 90% of that level, I was moving forward at like a snail's pace when like I should have been going much faster than that. And when you were in combat, I found it really, really difficult to control the like, aiming.
Right.
Like especially for rockets, because I'm like, this like it's really difficult to aim and your rockets aren't even like a little bit like tracking. They don't like track towards a target. They're just like, nope, they fire in a straight line from where you fired them.
Yeah.
Which kind of annoyed me in this future where, or in this world where I have this nano suit that allows me to go invisible and has armor mode and all that, and like jump 15 feet in the air. I can't have a heat seeking missile on my jet. That doesn't make sense to me. So like the game was really buggy, like kind of throughout, but definitely more towards the later half of the game. Overall, still really enjoyed it. Like I
Nice.
like I said, I hadn't played Crisis 1 before. I thought I had, apparently not. But that's a lot of fun. If you haven't played Crisis before, I would recommend playing it.
Yeah, I haven't played Crisis 1 since I played on the PS3. So, like, I remember of the three, I feel like I might have liked it the least of the three.
I agree.
I think 2 is my favorite, but that's why I'm like, if I ever when I get the remasters, I'm not sure if I'll just do the whole trilogy or if I'll just do 2 and 3. Um, but I did like 1. I think I might go back to 1 just to experience like the whole series again. Actually, better frame rate and stuff like that, new visuals, and
Yeah.
experience them in the modern day and everything. But cool. I'm happy you enjoyed it overall for the most part, especially with it
Yeah.
being your first experience with it.
Yeah, definitely. I will say, like, if I were to offer some advice, I would go back to 1 when you pick up the remaster collection. Like, it took me 10 hours to finish.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not
that
like
it's
it's a
not
long
that long.
game or anything.
No. Crisis 2, however, is the one that I'm playing just now. And first off, let me just say that like like if going straight from 1 to 2 is like going from Mario 64 to Sunshine. In
Okay.
terms of like visuals, because like Crisis, like it holds up okay. Like it doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Crisis 2 looks like still holds 100% to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like yes, they've been remastered, but like it looks really, really good.
I remember
Um
2 being a great looking game when I played
yeah.
on the PS3.
Um I think I'm about, I would say maybe 6 or 7 hours into, maybe not that much, maybe 5. I'll say between 5 and 8 hours into Crisis 2. and I am not even halfway done.
Wow. Okay.
Like like I looked up on how long to beat, and it says it takes about 12 hours to finish, and I'm like, I do not believe that for a second, because I am on like mission like 6 or 7 out of, I think, maybe like 16, something like that.
Mhm.
And like I still have a while to go, so at least for me, it's not going to take 12 hours. But I am liking, like, Crisis 2 is as good as I remember it being, if not better. Like, I'm having a lot of fun playing it.
Mhm.
Like there are parts of it that are like clicking in my head of like, oh, I definitely remember this bit. I definitely remember this bit. And then like
Yeah.
bits in between where like don't remember it so much, but I will say, I'll humble brag for a second. I've gotten really, really good at like lining up a target, uncloak, fire, cloak.
That's what I always did. I would always do that. I'd be cloaked and be like, all right, there you are. Decloak, pop, cloak myself back again. All right, cool.
Yep.
There we go. Keep it
Yeah.
moving, keep it moving. That was my go-to strategy. That was my go-to.
Yeah. So like I've gotten really, really good at that, to the point where I think I've maybe only been detected a handful of times in like all of
Nice.
the encounters I've had. So like I've been doing pretty good for like a person excuse me, a person whose strategy is usually going guns blazing. Um
That's how I always played Crisis 2 the
yeah.
entire way. 2 and 3 really. Because I don't think you could do that in 1. I think in 1 you're not able to like consistently do that and like just keep your cloak like energy level high
It,
enough. I
yeah.
don't remember. But 2 and
Oh,
3, that was my go-to strategy for sure. Cloak and decloak, pop. And when 3 where I have the bow and the arrow, I gotta stay close while I just
yep. That you reminded me of something I wanted to say about Crisis 1, is that the energy in that game is so janky. Like
mm,
like you use so little of it for cloaking, like even while moving, I found. And then you use like a medium amount while you're in armor mode, and then you use a hell of a lot while you're sprinting, to the point where you sprint like 50 feet and then you stop, and it takes
yeah.
ages for your energy to recharge in 1.
Yeah.
That I didn't like. 2 is a lot better. Like 2, I think overall is just a much better game mechanically than 1 is.
Yeah.
Um it's real good. It looks real good. It's playing real good. I'm having a real good time playing it. I realized that was just 2 of the exact same thing worded differently, but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing Crisis again.
Well, nice. You're getting me wanted to play it again. I'm not going to play it again for a hot minute, but I'm happy you're enjoying it again. I'm happy you've been enjoying these games that you've been playing. And I'm looking forward to hearing about you finishing some of these games and finishing
Yep.
other games that you have as well. That way you don't have a growing list of games where you're only like, I played 10 hours and then I
Yeah.
kind of put it on pause. And now I have a bunch of games with 10 hours of playtime and now you haven't finished them. So looking forward to hearing more about them, especially Gravity Rush, because I do like the game a lot. I hope you do like it too. But that's going to do it for episode 60 of the Play to Win podcast. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Remember, check out our site, playwingames.wordpress.com, home for all of our content. It's a cool place to go check that out. Follow us over on Twitter and Instagram at Play to Win Game. You can chat with us over there about all types of things. Let us know on Twitter or Instagram, and also in the comment section of this video, what your favorite thing from the state of play was. Was it Final Fantasy 16? Was it RE4? Was it Street Fighter 6? Let us know what your favorite thing was. Have a conversation with us about it. Of course, subscribe here on YouTube if you are on YouTube, and turn that notification bell. Subscribe on podcast platforms as well. Share the show, leave reviews, 5-star reviews. Let us know what you think of the show and share it with all these other people. Spread the word of Play to Win. Spread the good word. Spread the holy word of Play to Win game.
Yep.
And also, I'd said this before. Next week's episode is next week. It might be a bit different because next week, if all goes well, we will have 2 episodes for you on Monday, because on the 9th, we have Summer Game Fest. And then literally 3 days later on the 12th, it's Xbox's show. Our plan is to record an episode recapping Summer Games Fest that Saturday on the 11th. And then on the 12th, right after Xbox's conference, our plan is to record an Xbox recap episode and have them both go live on the 13th. That is the plan. And I believe that we're going to be sticking to that plan. If anything changes, we will, of course, update on Twitter and Instagram. But if all goes well, if all goes right, there will be 2 episodes for you all next week on Monday. There will be episode 61 and 62. 61 being Summer Game Fest recap, 62 being the Xbox recap, because it just doesn't make sense for us to wait a whole week to do an Xbox episode when like it's the next day. It just makes the most sense to do it like that. So that is the plan. That's what we're going to do. If Nintendo has a showcase that same week, that episode will just come the Monday after. We most likely will not do like a recap episode that same day, and then like the next. There's gonna be a whole lot going on, a whole lot of busy stuff and time schedules and everything. But again, if anything changes, we will make that known over on the socials, over on Twitter and Instagram. So be sure to follow us over on Twitter and Instagram for updates on what we will be doing. All that said, though, Keiran, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Badlynet, BADLYNET, all one word.
Lovely, lovely stuff. You can find me over on Twitter at Tyler Miller 2496. You all know what I talk about: games, anime, movies. Side note, real quick, I love how Morbius has become like the Room of the modern day. Just all over the internet, just it's a Morbin time, all types of Morbius memes, to the point that Sony put the movie back in theaters this week because of the memes. And Jared Leto posted a video on Twitter and Instagram, I think, of him reading a script, and someone came over like, "Oh, what is it you're reading?" He's like, "Oh no, it's nothing." And then you see the title, and it's Morbius 2. It's Morbin time. It's just like, I can't believe we have memed this movie so badly that like it is now on kind of like nearing the Room levels of like infamy, of like it's so bad that we're gonna meme it back into theaters. I can't believe it. Just a funny little side note there. But yes, thank you all so very much for watching and or listening. We will talk with you all next time. Have a great one.
See you all later.